You guys are watching us. Let us know if you can hear us. Give us some thumbs up in the chat. If you can hear us properly without problems, no interference, let us know. Just give us thumbs ups in the chat. And also, if you're watching and you want to chat with us, you want to be interactive, go ahead and jump on the link in the Instagram bio. So basically, if you click the link up on Instagram, you might have to go to YouTube app or something and just search for cTalkTV. And just click the video and you can chat with us. You see the chat box and you can chat, ask questions. If you're watching, go ahead and share the link with your friends, you know. I see Niger Boy says it's been good. Niger Boy, go ahead and share that link with your people, you know what I'm saying? Let them jump on the video, jump on the chat. But boom, let's go. We're gonna have a good conversation today, man. Hey, it's about to be, but guys, you know we have the floor. If you're watching and you are a woman, you can jump in and shoot questions. Wise man here, so here's the guys, man. Hey, we got Dog on this side. You know, go ahead and introduce yourself, man. You got it.
How y'all doing? My name is Kim, man. Been here for 6 years.
Boom.
Sup, my name is Nonso. Yeah.
My name is Chizaram.
Hello everybody, my name is John, Life of Dio on Instagram.
Safalaji, SKE, you know. Back and make noise. Let's talk some shit. Come on. The True 44.
Oh, look,
That's his rap voice.
We got Sammy.
Don't worry.
We got Sammy Juice in the chat. Hey, Sammy, you know, go ahead and share the link with your friends. You know what I'm
Oh
saying?
shit, Sammy on the chat.
And he just gives us more sense every year.
He said I'm ready for violence today.
I chose it. Like, let's go.
We're gonna go ahead and jump into it, man. We're not gonna waste any more time. But quick one. So you know, as guys, you know, like we just wanna let's just be in tune. You know, let's have a good conversation. Let's really just talk. You know, some women will see this and be like, you know what, we want to talk to this guy, ask some this type of thing. But I just picked out a few, like literally like 5 situational type questions that we want us to touch on as we go on. Questions might pop up in the chat and we'll just answer them. But we'll go ahead and jump into it, man. So the first one that I had was this: if your partner cheats on you, would you want her to tell you? And this is it being like, you know, like you would never find out otherwise if she don't tell you. So would you want her?
I mean, that's capital. What do you mean? Like, you never find out?
I mean, hypothetically, we could jump into the other one.
I have a question. How many times is she cheating on me?
I mean, we don't know, but if she does.
So,
Is it a one-time thing? Is this something that's going on over?
You know, like, I don't want to know.
Every
In
weekend.
a close circle. I would like to know, like, but.
so this is the thing, right? Even if she cheated on me like 50 times, like, I really
50?
don't want to know. Like, this is the thing. Even the one time said that you know about
50.
it, you'll be angry. So, I don't know. I just don't want to know.
You don't want to know.
I don't know. As long as it's not affecting, like, my relationship.
It will affect your relationship. What are you
No,
talking
no,
about?
facts though, because
If it doesn't,
how? She's getting knocks, bro.
I'll put this conversation in my head.
Like, you know the knocks, like knocks. How would it affect what
It
the
will
got?
Like even one time, one mistake will affect the relationship. I don't know about 50 times. You gotta know.
For me, I don't want to take away her process of atonement. If she wants to tell me to atone and be a better person, I'm not going to deny her the right to do that. So if she wants to tell me, then I'm fine with it.
No, for me it's like, see, if I will never find out, let's just be going like that.
Okay.
Because if I ever find out, it will never be okay. Ever. Like, you see, guy, it's when you're driving home, when you're at Walmart, randomly, it will just pop in your mind. Like yes, like
No, that's
right
right.
now,
Nah, you're right. You're
she
right.
might be getting slapped, and there's nothing you can do about it. Are you here? You do lovey-dovey.
So if she tells you,
don't finish now.
If you decide that you want her to actually tell you, would you want to know the type of guy that she's doing with?
I mean, that's all.
Okay,
It's up to her to divulge all that. But again, bear in mind, like a guilty conscience can just lead to destruction, basically. So even if she doesn't tell you, things can just start to go off in a relationship that don't make sense.
Yeah.
So you'll be wondering where that's stemming from or what's going on, and then she tells you, okay, I've been acting that way because I cheated. I don't know how to come back from it. Blah blah blah. And then
cheating.
Yeah.
What do you do after though? Like,
Yeah.
you guys have the conversation. See, there's nothing better than understanding the context of why people do what they do. And if the context is good enough for you to want to work on it, that's fine. And then as you heard it and you're not, that's it for you, then that should be it for you.
Okay, so now you know. How do you heal as a man? How do you heal past that? Like, how do you get to? Because no, what Jimmy said is right. Like you be driving down your car and down the road, it just pops in your head, and you live in the past over. You relive in the past. Every time that happens, you relive in the
I
past.
don't even think
I
it's
know.
over and over again. I think it's even what's worse is not even the past. It's what you don't know. Because this girl said she cheated on you. Now, cheating is a very complex thing. No, real shit. You go to Cabo with this nigga and go get slapped in the pool while seeing sunsets. She slapped.
She slipped on a banana peel.
She slept on a banana peel, yeah? I slept on some dick. Like, my mistake. Maybe your ex or, like, something that just happened drunk. Yeah. So, there's different levels. So, if it's like, man, this nigga took her on a trip, and then she came back, and then something is happening, and then now she has to tell you, you find out. In your mind, what happens? Hey, that's what was it. Because this girl went somewhere for 1 week and did not tell me when she went. I don't know.
Oh, Lord.
As a guy, we already know. We said we have the intuition now. We have a little
But if I'm being honest, man, like, the Yoruba side of me will be like, Aimoye. Who has not been cheated on? There'll always be somebody who has more six packs, who has
So I
more
think
money.
that's a different question. Or if you're cheated on, would you pick your girl back? That's a totally different question.
Well, yeah, I mean, you can look at it both ways. So it's like, you got cheated on.
I'm only good
What
for
do you
one
want her
time.
to tell you? If you cheated, would you go and tell her? Those type of things.
One time,
Wait, what?
Are we talking girlfriend?
Wait, what did you say?
I mean, you're
talking
talking
marriage.
If a guy cheats, like, would I tell my partner?
Yeah, because you see how you say you want her to tell you. Would you tell her?
No, he said he doesn't want to say that.
Are we talking girlfriend or are we talking marriage?
Good question.
Well,
Regardless.
committed relationship.
Man, no.
Yeah.
Yeah. You have to stay in between. No, you stay in between.
Dude, people they not. They did committed to each other.
No, like seriously.
Girlfriend or wife?
Exactly.
Now,
Man.
let's go.
You
Let's
should,
go with wife.
Wife? Man.
Well, if I cheat on my would I?
No, if your wife cheated on you and she told you, would you come back?
I don't know.
Marriage is not just marriage is not just like love.
Yeah, I think that's a little bit tricky.
It's a business contract. There's so many things at
It's a
stake.
contract.
It's a business contract, so there are a lot of things at stake.
I mean, are
like,
the kids
Now,
involved?
plus your kids,
Are the kids
everything.
involved?
So what do you
different,
mean?
though,
What do
you
you
know.
mean by business contract?
Okay.
Man.
That's where I was going.
You're talking about
Uh-huh.
investments, joint accounts, assets that you guys own. So many
Yeah,
things
houses
involved in
together,
marriage.
you
It's
have
not
cars.
just about I love you. I go out, take her on dates and all that stuff, and she'll have children for you. There's so many things involved in. If you're not building with your partner, I don't know why you're married. You're marrying that same
That's
partner.
facts. That's
So-
facts. But regardless of that, business contract, whatever it is, joint accounts, whatever, she's still gonna go down if she's gonna go down. Someone will still cheat if they want to. I mean,
So
what's going on?
what's everybody's clear
Me-
answer though?
me.
Do you want to know? Do you
I'm
want
just
to know?
saying
Me-
those are the factors
I
that you
want
have
to
to take
know,
into
and me
consideration.
personally, I'm gonna try to work it out.
You try to work it
Yeah,
out?
try to work
How
it
many
out.
times is too much?
That's a good one.
That's a valid question. brother.
Like, how many forgiveness do you have in you?
Jesus said 77 times 7.
I like that.
They just go to slap. They just 77 now.
Nah, I'm just playing. There's a difference between one time and then this is a lifestyle for you. Obviously.
It becomes a habit.
If you have a lifestyle of round of applause, then.
Yeah.
I will still be mad.
Yeah.
The same thing is still going to happen, but just tell me.
That's fine.
Because if I find out, like I think that, man, it's just a totally
I think I
different
feel the same
scenario.
way. I feel the same way.
Just let me know that I'm
on.
you know, I slipped on this banana peel.
Yeah.
Casamigos down the hill.
Casamigos.
And you know, just let me know. Let me understand circumstances, what situations, what's up. Now let me be the one to decide if I still want to come back to this or if I still think like, okay, it was just a mistake.
You won't be able to make a comment.
Man, if you go to Cabo,
Premeditated.
exactly. That would be planning. Like you did this going. It's a sneaky link. You probably like 4 different like sneaky link. Took off from one. Sneaky link.
That one no be FCM behavior.
Bro, that one in terms of like coming one time is fine with me because if you can premeditate a trip to Cabo with somebody else without the person that you are supposedly with knowing you are a James Bond person that should not be near me.
Just
going.
to trust
Bro, so she says what? I'm sorry baby, let's get back together. We do love it every day, 6 months.
Well, you want to understand the context though.
That's the
There's
context.
which context again after that?
No, the premeditated, there's no context, bro. What? She
I don't
mistakenly
need any context after
mistakenly
that.
went online and booked the trip.
Nah, that's nah.
She did not book the trip.
And cleared the
good for
cookies.
her.
Well, she mistakenly found a ticket.
I think she was going on
With her party bags.
and they met in the plane and
And they just decided to
I'm just playing.
Who else? So y'all two don't want to know.
I don't want to know.
You don't want to know.
I want to
If I'm gonna find out eventually, then yeah.
Yeah.
If you're gonna find out.
So if it's in a close circle, just let me know. But if not, you went to like, let's say you went to Vegas and you just fucked up. Just
I don't want to know. If it's
What happens in
someone
Vegas
else,
stays in
I-
Vegas.
like keep it to yourself. Like,
Me personally, I want to know because I want her to protect me with that regard. Because forget you guys are saying the only reason you want to know if it's a close circle, like the internet has made the whole world a close circle. I don't want random bastard from somewhere like see him and even they slap your babe, you did they form bigger.
Yeah.
Like bro, that just protects me on all around. The internet has made the world a small place.
Yeah.
There's no immediate circle or no.
So
I don't want any guy to just come disrespect me off of the internet.
but
just
this is the thing.
because-
There's a way. Like okay, it's
Like I have a problem with with just exactly what you just said. I'm walking down the street, or I'm at a bar, or some random Joe on the internet. And like, yo, you know what my girl looks like naked. Like that's my intimacy. I'm sharing an intimate moment with this person.
Don't slap.
You know, I'm only good for one cheek. That's it. It's only one time. And because the reason why I say it's only one time is because as a man, I'm gonna relive that past, and that's why I said that earlier, over and over again. I can't deal with another cheat. Like it's just, it wouldn't work for me. I need my mental health at the end of the
So that
day.
leads to
So
the
it's probably
question
better
that
for me
you
to.
raised. I think you raised a question. How many times would you, if just once? And
Oh, that's it.
Yeah.
you just forgive him once and
Yeah,
that's it.
and I expect
That's
it
one
to.
time.
Oh,
Wait, if it happens once, it that's finished.
Oh really?
Oh yeah. You see,
Wife,
trust is a contract.
not the
Wife,
girlfriend.
I mean, like I said, there are different
Oh,
ways.
wife
to-
is even different.
There are different ways
That's
to.
true.
People living in
Obviously,
different lives
with
of
the wife,
marriage,
you-
man.
once
Different
it's
ways
one
to be
time,
married
you're
right
done.
now. So like, if we have kids, I'm obviously we're staying there for the kids, but like me and you,
done.
oh,
But
so one time already.
I think it's easier said than done.
You see,
Like, that's why I said I
all
don't
the
know.
business parts that you're talking about, man, all that's in this paper.
So John says.
Get one lawyer and they'll sort of that stuff out.
John says wife is different. You would think it. You would think you would think more in depth
Before walking
before
away.
walking away.
Definitely.
Yeah.
But
I don't know that though.
But-
Like, would I?
you know, it's still a breach of trust. You know, I didn't do it. I didn't cheat. It's not like I've been
So
cheating.
flip
if I'm being honest,
the
ah,
script, if it's a guy that messes up, saying
Thank you.
saying-
Oh yeah.
How many times would you want your girl? How many times would you want your girl to forgive you?
If I cheat, I only deserve one.
Absolutely.
If I do it again, I'm out.
But-
no, seriously, I expect that because I mean,
I don't
we're
deserve,
human beings.
I don't think at that point I deserve anything.
I don't think anybody should deal
you
with
do,
knowing
you
that
do.
somebody's
No,
going to
no.
cheat over. Like
It's
that
the same
does not
breach
make
of trust.
sense to me. at all.
It's the same.
Like, do you value yourself?
Yeah,
That's what
same
I'm
bitch
asking,
you
right?
trust, but are you expecting her to stay?
I'm gonna try. I'm
You're
gonna
gonna
try.
try.
If she don't stay, I can't.
I'm not a yeah. You know, I'm gonna try. Like,
But if it was you, you're not even trying.
But let's
you said try now. I will still say no because it's still the same breach of trust.
Yeah.
It's like fundamental in a relationship.
But just
If
for
you
the
can't trust
women
each other-
though, right? Like I know this is hypothetical, but we know black men don't cheat, right?
Yeah,
Of course. Oh, yeah, of course.
Are you mad?
Just making sure.
Are you mad?
I need y'all to make me a shirt. Black men don't cheat. Thank you.
Front and
Appreciate
back.
it.
Let's jump to the next question. And this one most of us have had probably experienced this before. Why do some men find it hard to accept financial help from their partners?
Oh, that's a good one.
It's a pride thing.
We're talking about this.
Right.
So, how much pride do you have that you really need something, but you wouldn't want to accept it from this person who loves and values you and is willing to be there for you?
I don't have that. I don't have
Hold
that.
on.
I don't understand this.
Let me. That question that you asked, is it like from your significant other, like your babe?
Significant other, yeah.
Okay.
Wow.
Your
So
partner.
it's me. I used to get out. My money is your money. Your money is my money. Oh,
No,
we're on
I guess the
But some
question is
people
like
may
why
need-
some people think
Some
you
people
know.
would
It's
find
just
it hard
pride.
to accept it.
Some
Sometimes.
You feel like as a man, like you should be able to do stuff. So when you can, like as a man, we all know how it feels now. When you like your ego is hurt. So now imagine like you now feel in your own mind, your own misogynistic as African as man.
know?
You think that as a man, you shouldn't be going to a woman to ask for help, which is very very backwards. It's unnecessary in my opinion because who is this woman? This woman is someone that you love, right? Someone that you're with.
Yeah, so you're with.
So why would you think that it's like a big deal to ask her for
Some
money?
men do that though.
So what if you ask? What if you ask your partner and your partner is like, no, I can't help you. Like you need to be a man.
Now we're talking girlfriend.
there lies the
Let's talk. Let's talk.
No, wait.
No, he just made a good point. Like, and I feel like there lies the problem. Right? My bad.
So it's like you go ask your girl for like financial help or whatever, and she doesn't give you, right? And she's like, "Oh, go be a man." Like, what are you doing?
Bet, go be a man.
And I feel like that could be the reason why that type of man would not want to ever ask a woman again.
But it's like you never ask that woman.
I mean, but regardless, your experience with that one woman will
It will hurt
shape
you.
It
It'll probably propel you to go get some bread.
facts. But in the future, you will still
It's
refuse
definitely.
to ask.
Exactly. So
You
it'll
check.
make you
No,
be a
but
hustler.
again, I think it depends on the woman. Like, this is somebody you're supposed to be with. This is your wife or your girlfriend. Like, this girl has come to meet you for money. She has asked you for money and you've helped her. So, in your own message, this is just pride. Again, it's your ego that's talking. Your ego is telling you, hey, I'm too big to walk to myself. I'm going to meet my girlfriend and ask her for money. Why?
He made a good point. Like when we're discussing this, I think it's based on dynamic too. Like, I guess if you, I guess you can specialize to that, but like if you have a discussion like at first, like in terms of like what finances mean to both of you, I think is you kind of clarify things then, but I don't know.
Well, basically, when we were breezing through the points, I had said it depends on how much you trust her with your vulnerability. Because sometimes it's not just the ego, it's just being vulnerable, like, and how she will react to it. Like you said, if she says no, that's a vulnerable moment for you. Like he says, if she says no to you, that can build your decision. How she handled that vulnerable moment can build your decision making and how you handle that moment with other women. So basically, it's trusting that you can be that vulnerable with her, and even if she says no, let her give you a respectable reason why she said no, and it will be okay, this time around it did not happen, but you can always come back when I have it, I'll help. You understand? So it's based on the dynamics you have with the woman, because you can't just ask every type of woman that kind of question. Some women know how to handle it with grace, some women don't. So it's just that's what will shape a man going forward.
So is it a known fact that, well, not a known fact, but is it, because this thing goes around society a lot, if you don't have money as a man, you're not a man if you don't have money. If you're able to,
it's
so
the blood that drives our hustle, everybody.
So could that be a potential reason why some men
I think so.
that pride that like I need to be the one to provide and you can't provide for me? But I personally feel like that's actually hurting the relationship. If you ask me.
That's kind of what I think, because this is again somebody you're supposed to be in a relationship with. What is a relationship to you that you don't think that you can ask for financial help? What kind of dynamic or what kind of setup is it that you guys don't feel like you can help each other financially?
Like I can see how a man would
to pay you.
Yeah, it would hurt and also would not want to even ask because
you probably go to your guys
at the
first.
same time it's still trash because
if you're
it's just like a revolving thing.
Yeah, if you have that kind of pride, most of the time those kind of guys will probably go to your guys first and ask for money, and then you'll get a I'm not talking to somebody you just met, the one girl that you met at O2 and things like that.
Hey, I think that was a shout out right there. That was a shout out.
Shout out
right
to
SKE.
SKE. I was trying to like.
I like that.
But like, if it's your girlfriend, your wife, man, I have money, babe, bro. This thing is coming up. What's up?
Dude, that's a valid point. Like, what's the point of having somebody that is supposed to,
What's the point?
you're supposed to be your partner. You can't be vulnerable with that person. Like, and it goes beyond money. Like, if you have, because men go through a lot at the end of the day, and we don't talk about it. But we need something to buy, someone to vibe off of, or be able to like, because I think women have so much value to bring to a man, but a lot of them don't realize it, and a lot of men don't realize it either. Because women are very smart, they're very inquisitive, very intelligent, and a man can bring his problems, his struggles to a woman that he trusts and loves, and she'll be able to look and listen to all of that, and if she understands you, she will know what you need to get to that next level. And vice versa for men. If your woman comes to you, you know enough about her to take her to the next level. So how vulnerable are these two people with each other to be able to allow that to happen? And pride is a big thing. Women have it, men have it. Are you going to allow your pride to get in the way so you can elevate? Because the goal at the end of the day is for both people to elevate together and be better. Like, we're not here racing against each other. Society makes it seem like we're all against each other, but that's not what it is. We're really trying to all make it. We all deserve to be rich. We all deserve to be happy. We all deserve to have a great relationship, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. You're not competing with each other,
So during, well, before I jump into that, let me see. Let I have a question, which I think takes us back. That kind of takes us back to what we were previously talking. Well, she's saying, question for the guys. For all the questions, why are you separate?
Can be literally anything, Your knock buddy. If you guys are committed to just knocking each other, it is a commitment. What? That's right. It's a committed relationship. Right. Your boyfriend and girlfriend, you guys are committed to each other. Committed relationship. Wife, committed relationship. That's what I'm like. If it's just fuck buddy, your situationships are committed relationships. Absolutely. Because you are committed to that situation. You can just leave. Oh, you don't know what that is? I'm not gonna touch that one. But basically, it's just because anything can be a community. If you guys are doing, if it's 4 people doing group sex, and you are committed to group sex, that's a commitment. It's a committed relationship. So let's clarify the question.
Where are you going with this?
Let's clarify the question. Hold on. Come back. Let's come back. You complex. You went. It's very complex. Just as examples of how complex it is.
Let's clarify the question again. What was the question? Because to you was on the... What was the question?
I mean, you got the question.
What's the difference between a committed relationship and...
Because basically what we're saying
between committed relationship and a wife.
So your answer is that there's no difference.
My answer is that there's a big difference because committed relationship might literally be anything.
So
an agreement between a bunch of people.
So what is wife then?
So she's basically
Wife is contractual.
We're married.
Yeah.
We had
Anything else that
Contract.
enters you are broken
It's a
up.
contract to one person.
But a committed relationship is not limited to one person. Marriage is limited to one person.
I think the main difference actually.
But that's what we're missing.
I think what we're missing though is the difference between the committed relationship.
No. It's not
The
like.
difference between the committed relationship and the marriage is that the marriage is done in the presence of God.
Yeah,
in the
it's
sense
sanctity,
of like,
it's the sanctity of marriage.
Yeah, and that's when we're not talking about the contract, the sign of papers, we're talking about.
That's what I meant, like the vows you make in church and all that stuff.
Or
It's
judge,
just
right.
the sanctity of marriage itself, like.
Or judge. Right. Or judge.
So basically, Jimmy said you can be in a committed relationship with multiple people. That's what he's saying, right? You
Yes.
be in a committed
But
relationship.
you can be married
No.
and be in a committed relationship with other people.
I guess.
You can do whatever you want. Hey, well, I'm not here to judge. There was a question.
Let's come
Okay.
back. So Lynn is saying situationships are not committed relationships.
So this is the thing, right?
Situationship is not a committed relationship.
So there are situationships where you can actually have.
We're committed to that
Wait. So like there's situationships. Listen.
You're not trying to increase body count, Abi.
You
So
should
you're
know.
committed to using it to keep your body count
James
constant.
Bond,
Yeah.
because you want to be in this James
But
Bond.
what is
There's
the
no
definition
reason
of
for you.
commitment?
You're committed to this one person.
Like you're going there,
You're committed
You're committed to the
to
situation.
this one person.
That's a good question.
You're committed to this
But what if
one
it's two
person.
people?
Commitment doesn't necessarily mean you're committed to
Well,
one thing.
if there's two people, you're committed
I'm about to
to
ask
this.
you.
Two people.
Okay.
But listen, check this out. If we want to go that route, here's what he's saying. And what he's saying is, if you're in a relationship with two people, right? That's what you're saying. Do they know of each other? Or are you saying two separate?
It doesn't matter. You're committed to both of them.
Polyamorous
Committed to
relationships
them.
exist
You're
now.
committed to providing their needs.
Hey, Google
Exactly.
said it's been dedicated to a cause.
Okay, yeah.
So if you guys are
If it's
you
a
are-
situationship, like
and all of you are in that situationship together, and all of you don't want to leave that situationship, people are committed to that situationship.
Yeah,
Yes,
yes,
it's
their
a
cause.
commitment.
yeah, that's the
Okay.
cause. Yeah.
So
At the end of the day, there's
so
no balance.
check this out. Check this out.
Damn, this black men and white.
They're saying commitment is equal to exclusivity. Like if commitment, you're exclusive. Do you agree with that?
No,
But
No,
I don't.
no, because there's nothing. I would say there's no structure holding you. It's a open. I guess it's a commitment is open.
yeah.
A marriage is like
Exclusive.
It's exclusive because
Marriage
it's
is
in line. It's
No,
not
So
like,
potentially,
no.
That's kinda how I see
No,
it.
for me, exclusivity is a deliberate decision. You can be committed, but you're not.
So
Exclusivity
I'm
is
confused, guys.
deliberate. Like that's a deliberate decision to be exclusive with one person. You can be committed to multiple things at once.
yes.
It's standard. It's proven. You can be committed to multiple at one, but exclusivity is a deliberate dedication to just one thing. Just one thing.
And that's what marriage is.
Sorry,
So
not thing.
it
We're speaking
does
about
say-
people. So one person, one woman.
It says the second definition of commitment is an engagement or obligation that restricts freedom or action. So it restricts freedom by action. Commitment.
well, so
I don't know how to
I mean,
quantify
maybe
that
I
though.
piggyback-
How do you quantify
I
that?
want to piggyback on what he's saying, which is what should be more sensible or what should make sense. I get it. You want to be committed to multiple. That's fine. But when you choose to be exclusive to one,
It's different.
that's you telling yourself, I'm no longer doing all these commitments and I'm so-called trying to put myself in, and here I am being exclusive to this.
So,
Yeah.
so wouldn't you just say that marriage is the ultimate form of exclusivity?
No. You can before you get married. You
Before you get married, you can practice
Absolutely.
Like I
exclusivity.
said, it's the ultimate form of exclusivity because
Well, yeah,
when you get-
but
what else are you going to-
in a normal world in today's society,
under the Bible.
Forget under the Bible, everyday human being.
Yeah.
I
You
know
yourself,
your mom is
as guys, do you want before? Let's say you want to get married in a year. Are you going to continue dating multiple until 2 months?
Look, it
until
de-
2
it-
months?
it depends
Hold
on the
hold
person.
Let's be realistic.
Hold on.
Let's be
It
realistic.
depends on the person.
No, but we're talking about you right now. Let's be realistic. You know, if you want to hypothetically get married next year, are you going to be committed to 5, 6, 7, 10 people 2 months before next year reaches? No.
Because honestly, when you're being distracted in so many ways, it limits you from reaching your full potential. You know, because if you want to get to the bag, my God, focus on that one and you get to the bag. But if you're going left, right, center, front, back, bro.
But there are people that know how to multitask.
No, Caesar, let's be realistic. Come on.
You gonna make them stone something for comment section.
Black man, this,
Caesar,
black man, all that black man.
Stone something for comment section.
Let's be realistic.
True.
You know you want to get married and settle down in a year.
Yeah, you're gonna have to cut it. You're gonna have to cut it.
Of course.
You have to practice exclusivity.
So you have to start learning to practice.
Trust me, it's not even a year. Is like, come on now, we're capping. Like,
No, that's what I'm saying. Let's be
more time than that.
real.
My wife doesn't give you time a year.
Let's be real.
Yeah, only being exclusive for. Dude, you guys have been dating for how many? You have to be having exclusive. Dude, you still say women go down you yes because they find
No, they would do.
But I wanted to speak back on that last question before we jump to the next. Why do men find it hard to get accept financial help from their spouse? So if as a man that happens to you, is that a tiebreaker? Is that a deal breaker for the relationship?
If she says no,
If she says no to help
I
you
wouldn't.
financially?
Well, the thing is like I'll think about it. You know, it'll hurt first of all. It'll make me. It'll make me waver. You will resist stuff like come on. If in my hard times I can't even rely on this person, maybe it's just the person for me. But then at the same time, I guess that's just me. I do that hustle. So for me, it's like it's pushing me out the door. I'm going to go and find money. I'm going to rectify that situation so I don't have to go back and do that.
You don't want to feel that vulnerability.
Yeah, I don't. Not even that.
No, because the vulnerability.
Yes.
You don't ever want to feel that feeling again.
You definitely want to feel safe in that space. But I think it goes back to what are the roles? Are the expectations for me to be providing everything and she just cleans up and takes care of it? It's just, it goes back to the roles. What are the roles? If as a man, if you're supposed to be taking care of 90% of the things, you don't have money, God, hey, it's nothing. You need to figure it out.
Yeah, because she's gonna be looking at you to provide.
Okay, so for me, basically, I'm a huge fan of 7 Deadly Sins, and basically, women from the goddess clan, there's some certain type of endowment they have, which is called grace. And so, based on, like I said before, my feeling will be based on the grace the woman uses to handle that situation. So, if I trust that grace and she handles it well, it will not move me. But then again, there are some women that don't have that type of grace. Not only will they say no, they can also use it against you in an argument and all that stuff. So that's what I'm saying. It depends on the grace that the woman handles it with. That's what will make me come back to her. And, So.
What's up, Chizzy? Let's move.
Come on, yeah, the one that's.
Is that a deal breaker?
Would you even ask? Would you even ask in the first place?
It's me, I'll ask. But I don't know. I think it will be hard. It will be very hard. It will be very hard for me to stay with her after that because
She says no.
Yeah, because I think I would do the same for you, like if you're really down. So it will be very hard. But I mean, it depends.
I'm on the same level as well. Like, it's all about vulnerability to me. I want to be able to be able to share my vulnerability and communicate that with somebody I'm with. And if I don't get anything from that in return, then I mean, more than likely, as part of that healing process, I'll do everything I can to not be in that position.
I feel the same
ever
way.
again.
I think I'm incredibly, I'll be like, I'll be thinking that shit over and over again. Like, I can do it.
Is that you?
It'll hurt.
No, I can. If I can do it for you, I expect you to do it for me.
Yeah,
That's my thing. And that will make me feel all types of way.
And because for me, it's not even just about that situation of, oh, I need financial help. It's, are you ever going to be there for me for anything else? Like, what do you have to bring? Because I know who I am as a person. I know that, if you're feeling sad, if you're feeling hurt, if something's going on, I'm always here to listen. I'm always here to bounce words of encouragement, something to fulfill you as a person. So for me on that level, it's like, are you ever going to be available or for me when I'm at vulnerable points in my life? Because it's not just going to be about money. It could be something else in my life that I need help with. What else are you gonna not be there for? Yeah.
And I think that even goes hand in hand with what he said with grace.
Yeah.
Hey.
I'm gonna run through the comment real quick. Chica says, I reject this narrative. Every one man at a table deserves to be with someone who loves them enough to hear you and empathize with you when you need help. Nonso is right. So she's agreeing with our points.
I think most women would actually agree with that. I don't know. I don't know if
It's some women that. Oh, go ahead. My bad.
Now to say, yeah, go John talking about take care of your mind 2021. Any sugar mama says,
Hey. Anyawu. Hey. Anyawu. Hey.
okay, and Chica makes a final point. Chica says you are more than what you provide financially. That's facts.
Yes.
So let's jump to the next one real quick. So this one is very, very interesting. So you meet and you as guys now, you know, like you meet a girl, you start talking to her, to a woman in your dreams, she's perfect, no issues, all that bullshit. 3 to 6 months later or so, you tell her you want to be committed to her, and she tells you, I was just having fun, I was using you for sex.
The thunder! The thunder! It's carrying away to Venice Beach.
It's the game.
First of all, 3 to 6 months is way too early to be like, yo, I'm trying to.
I mean, wait, listen.
Yeah, like,
For me, this is just me.
You know, when guys see who they like, and they know that this is it.
Yeah.
So you mean like you found like
But
the
here's
end
the
of
thing,
your
for me,
dreams?
I can know that, okay, you know what? I want to be with this woman. I can know that within a month of being with this person. But I also know that it's so much more that needs to be peeled. Like, it's so many layers that needs to be peeled to really understand this person.
You're right.
You know what I mean? So I don't think I'll be able to get that in 3 to 6 months.
But check this out. I know. Let me speak for myself. When you see the, you know, when you see the one, sometimes you know it's the one you want to stop. When you get to that 1 year that you know you want to get commit to exclusivity, right? Mm-hmm. You cut out all the nonsense commitments that you've been doing. That one now tells you, hey, I just want to fuck around.
Carry your shovel. No, pack the ones like
pick them back up.
No, okay, real shit. Let's be real.
Wait,
game is game.
So hold on. Let me clarify.
Check it out.
So, like 3 to 6 months to like girlfriend or
It's
married?
no,
Because
no,
You want to get to exclusivity with this person.
Okay.
You're no longer. You're saying I don't want to deal with all these other women.
girlfriend.
I want
No,
to
but
be
realistically,
exclusive
that's
with you.
ideal.
So
enough.
girlfriend.
Ideal
It's
enough. So
ideal
let's
enough.
forget.
girlfriend.
Okay, you know what?
6 months enough.
Hey, check this out. If it's 3 years for you, that's fine. If it's 2 years for you, that's fine. If it's 3 to 6 months for me, that's fine. But when we get to that point, and I say, it's time, and she tells me, I've just been using you for sex.
Once he gets it,
What do you
See,
want to
for
do?
that
Don't
reason,
get
like
it.
if it's for just that reason,
You live and you learn.
man,
Well, you know, like you're not entitled to someone like
you are
being
not.
with you. Like
It's not by force.
Yeah.
So you
not
get
fun, but
hurt.
it's just
You gotta
a waste of time. It's just
No,
that
to hit
leading
you.
on. It's
Like,
just that-
see, if it's for that reason, no, like if it's for just that reason, it's like 50-50.
Bro,
Because you're
it's-
kind of giving me a compliment, and at the same time you're telling me, well, you are good enough for sex, but you are just not good enough to deal with. So like it's like 50-50. Like I can like go and sleep.
all
and be
the
like,
cheesecake
She's
packages,
just not
all
there.
the
hey, chalk it up to the game. That's what I'm saying. You just try to pay you.
How would you react?
Yeah, like what would you do? You know how, this is just us flipping the script, right? You know how every day
guys do it,
guys do it to women every time. You just want to, and you just tell her, we'll just fuck it. We'll just
Don't worry,
So the flip, I said the flip. We flip it now, right?
yeah, the flip side of
Yeah,
it.
let's flip it. So you're in love, you're ready. You know, as for guys, you take your time and now you're finally ready, right? It's been 10 years, you've been chilling, having all this committed relationships left side center, and now you're ready. And you find the one, you guys are kicking it. And then she tells you, look, I just want you for sex.
Okay, don't worry.
And that's fine. She's not the one.
Yeah,
That
like,
doesn't
it's
mean
okay.
that the one isn't there.
No problem.
What you
It's
say?
okay. Like
There's other babes. No worry. No, because I
it doesn't work like that.
This is the main point.
No.
You guys are ready. This is the one. This is the
The
one
point
that you
is
have waited for.
right, I'm ready, right?
Yes.
I've done all
Woman
my
of
way.
your dreams.
Olosho has
No,
finished.
You don't spend your money.
So this is the thing, right? Most
That's what I'm saying.
It'll hurt.
people will
That's
say
what I'm saying.
Like,
like we'll stand here and be like, oh,
It'll hurt, man.
just
It'll hurt.
Nah.
Let's be vulnerable.
Let's-
Let's open
I'm just going to go tattoo
No.
you on my forehead. Because
Now on some real shit. On some
all
real
the
shit, though,
investments, everything.
like it happens, and
I'm pretty sure it does.
you just have to eat that up and just move on. Don't spend too much time
It'll hurt.
like hurt. Because if you spend too much time hurt, you're not gonna see that. Okay, maybe that actually happened for your benefit. Maybe as soon as you got that experience, you said no. 2 to 3 months or 2 weeks later, God brings somebody that's actually the one. Like, just don't spend your time in that hurt. Because I'm saying that because I've been there. I've met somebody and I'm like, yo, this is the person I really want to be with. I care about this person. And I didn't see that it just wasn't working, but I still push, and this, that, whatever. When it hurt. And I spent but don't spend too much time sulking and feeling sorrow and sadness, because all you're gonna do is attract more sulking and sorrow and sadness to yourself. Just focus on, okay, I bet I learned from this situation. I'm gonna just put myself in a good positive vibe.
God got something for us.
But I think that's why it's very important to establish, you know, open communication. You know, let me know how you feel. I'll let you know how I feel. What are we building to? If there's nothing there, we're just using each other for sex. Okay, well, let's do it.
So you're saying when you first meet that person, like really understand. Like,
Let me say something. Let me say something.
No. Let's pause there real quick. If that was you doing that to a woman, would you tell her upfront we're just fucking?
Yeah, you tell her, oh yeah, what? Oh, honestly, I feel like the thing is, I realize as I get older, the more open you are and you tell them what you're looking for, I swear.
No, that's facts. But
It's just like
me. Not all guys do that. That's how I put that.
So this is another thing though. Like, yes, we can have that discussion at first, but 6 months in, things change.
Hey, Phillies.
Bro, so things change. So what happens? Like,
where are we at? What are we doing?
Yeah, but
That's where
it
you
can happen in 6 months. Then you now have that. Then
so
what do you do?
how often do
I'm
you need to
standing
have
in
that
intersection.
conversation? That's what I want to know. Like,
How often?
So you meet somebody like, yo, this is what we want. This is where we're going. This is what this situation is. So a month,
Situation is what
six. Yeah, we just yeah.
I feel
And
like-
then 6 weeks later, or like, how often do you go back and say, okay, where are we at now?
Let's
Like,
check in.
yeah, let's check in.
I feel like the moment you get that intuition, you know what? I think I want to be like, okay, you know, see where her mindset is at.
Okay.
If her mindset is there with you, okay, now you know you're rocking.
But that's the
Okay.
6 months.
Not-
So,
No,
before the 6
I'm
months.
standing in the intersection of both their points. So he says you should ask questions, and then you brought up the issue of 6 months. I feel like 6 months is adequate enough for you to divert conversation to that point. First 3 months, you're trying to find out who she is, what she likes, her favorite color, her favorite movie,
But if
blah,
they
blah,
go
blah.
and just
all
try to
this,
fuck them.
all these
they're not
nostalgia.
really-
But there's no
I don't. The way men move to women are different. I don't know how other men move to women, but if I'm moving to a woman, I'm not trying to have conversations about I want to be with you just to lead her on to.
and then
to
we're not
that.
gonna run away.
No, we're going to have general conversations. I'm going to pick up on things that when she's talking about, she's excited about, and then we'll move conversation like that. And if she's talking about food, okay, let's talk about food till we have sex. If we're talking about movies, let's watch movies till we have sex. Basically, I know that I'm not going to move to a woman based on I want to knock, but I'm telling you a relationship, because I don't even my real relationships, I don't go into relationship like that. We have to have a period of being friends before I now ask you out. So with that said, I'm saying that 6 months is more than enough time for conversations to lead to that direction of what he says.
Let
You guys should talk about
let me ask something. For the sorry.
No, it's cool.
So for the single guys here, right? So have you ever started like, you know, on some bashing, then
And then what?
and then you start catching friends? That was your goal at first.
No,
Yeah.
that's fine.
Then start so
Yeah.
I think that it gets hard then. Like if the guys
I
like
mean, the thing is like, okay, so if I used to like at that point, if she says, "Man, I'm just knocking,"
Yeah.
pack your load and go.
Yeah.
so this is I hate this. I hate when people be like,
Back
oh,
up.
just
This
what
is-
you're saying
this
is
is easier.
what should be.
What he's saying
Wait,
is,
what you mean?
what
be
he's
like-
saying is it's not as easy as you say.
Of course.
No,
Like I said, I've been saying it, it'll hurt.
I want to actually
But if you wait, you getting in too deep, and it's
Yeah.
gonna be hard. So don't
If
wait
you
too
push it,
long. Just let
if
it.
you push it,
know?
like what is she going to do now? All of a sudden, it's not liking you for some other reason.
But
Yeah, you are not. You
you don't know how brains work.
I can't come and kill myself at the end of the day.
Wait,
That's how you feel. No problem.
multiple women on the chat are saying
figure it out.
this conversation should happen before 6 months. But you see, men are built different from women. Women can see a guy from the next day, they already see wearing his ring, having his children, where they will live, everything. Men, we need to be asking questions, and as the interest is building, that's when we will realize.
So they're saying what?
They're saying 6 months is too long to even have the conversation.
For a conversation that might change the rest of your
No,
life.
so it depends.
It's more than 6 months is more than enough time. I agree with you guys, but like we men would like to take our time to build interest, and as the interest is building, then that's how we know stuff.
So how does that work? If I do 2 weeks, I ask
okay,
you
hold
what
on.
I want, and it's just not.
Sammy has a good point on the chat. Let's talk about that. Sammy says opening up to a woman that you are not exclusive with is always a bad idea.
Of course.
Hey, listen, not exclusive doesn't mean that you're not fucking.
Yeah.
You could be in a committed relationship, like you said. so check this out. Because I mean, let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Yeah. You could be in a committed relationship where you're not in a relationship, but you're just fucking, right?
Right.
He says opening up to that type of person is a bad idea.
I mean,
but keep in mind, you already opened your genitals.
The thing is that, I mean, he's making a good point, but I don't know if it's a bad idea.
I would say so. I'm even real now. 2021.
Why don't you think it's not a bad idea?
Yeah, but I think you guys are both being slapping.
Yeah.
You're slapping. You're not.
Slap boxing.
So he says it's not a bad idea.
No, but you know what
Makes
sense,
sense, right?
Because I can already tell from Cheesy's conversations, he's already saying he doesn't want to tap and leave because you can tell he's the type of person. After a while, feelings get involved.
Nah,
You just wanna. I mean, I'm like that.
We're trying to help. We're trying to help our boy.
Okay, let's go.
Yo, why you hiding?
No. Reason you haven't changed her status from just slapping to something else. Like that's up to you. It depends on what's this rope you want to use to hang yourself technically. Because if you give this woman too much information and it doesn't work and it's just for sex, well, now you go open your
No, that's facts. That's facts.
But if you see that, man, this girl has a good head on her, so I'm going to tell her all this, and at the end of the day, she tells you, well, I'm just using you for sex. Well, at the end of the day, you were genuine. You did what you felt was right. You have no regrets. Walk away. Check it yourself.
I feel like if you're in that kind of situation, I feel like going off what Sammy said, I feel like if both of you are, if the feeling is genuine, that conversation like that is easy to have. It will not come. It will not be hard for you to say it. It will not be hard for even her to give you signs or even express it herself. You will know. So if you're in a relationship where her mind is strong, your mind too is strong, and you're the one that plays the fool by going to
Two of those shows are like oil and water.
Yeah.
They're like oil and milk. They will never mix. It's like see, it's like if you would know each other like, hey, I'm here for sex, and the girl knows, hey, I'm here for sex in the back of your mind, it will never work. It will cast. It's life. Life kind of have a way of doing stuff.
If the understanding is over just here, just having sex with each other, I'm probably not going to open up. That's just me, because it's already hard for me to open up.
But tie back to his point though.
No, I hear what he's saying, because I do feel like when people are having a sexual relationship over time, I mean, it's gonna grow. I mean, that's just the laws of life. You are gonna.
So when you're not just doing this situation, you just one and done.
I mean, you talk
to the next.
Wait, say
What
was the question?
Now, when you do the situationship stuff, is it just one and done and then to the next? Because to his point,
I mean,
you
till
do it
it's
over
exhausted.
time, you start catching feelings.
Yeah.
Right?
But you know how they say different strokes for different folks.
Strokes are right.
You're right.
Yeah,
You're
some
right.
people that you relate with and you can open up to, and there's some people that you gauge yourself because you know that, okay, I'm not sure about this person. As much as we're just knocking, yeah, we might be bumping distance, but if I give you, oh wow, and you are looking at me saying slapping.
That's a good
Anyway,
word. I like
it's
that.
a good word there, but we gonna keep
Slap.
moving.
Slap,
PG
slap, slap.
12, yeah. If you like, it's not. For me, it's. I think that's more straightforward, man. You people are just slapping. If you open up to her, that's on you. She has. There's no commitment. The commitment is to the slapping. It is not to like sharing.
Would you
feelings.
say are there levels to
It's just the slapping?
Are there levels to opening up? Like
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So,
It's,
Yeah, plus
You can open up to a certain
I honestly feel like if the conversation is going to be had, it's because the feelings are mutual. It's
Yes.
easy for that
Alright,
conversation to be had.
well,
So check this out. To that point, you're saying if the conversations are going to be had, it means the feelings are mutual. Here's what Lynn is saying. Lynn is saying that y'all should be on the same page about what y'all want and what you're doing early on. As time goes on, you have more convos, blah, 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 blah. And then she also says, these conversations are supposed to be ongoing and y'all stay on the same page.
Lynn, you have
100%.
Lynn,
I
just
just wanna know.
bless God for your life that you've not run into Uncle
100%.
Kamaru before. Uncle Kamaru is the king of demons. Do you understand? He will tell you what you want to hear. Have that conversation with you. And then you will find yourself on the wedding aisle and Uncle Kamaru is in his village with his real wife and children. So bless God that you have not run into Uncle Kamaru before. Do you understand? Because there are men like that. It's like, you are purely virgin, that's why you're talking like that. You have not run into the man that will have that conversation with you, but his mind is his leg. As he's matching his leg, he's matching his mind. So you are falling in love. It's not with you. So you are purely virgin, because you have not run into Uncle Kumari before. So bless God for your life.
bless God for your life, man. Bless God for your life.
Let's round up this question. Okay.
Oh no, so because I heard from the guys, you know, how often these conversations are supposed to have. I would like to hear from the females, like how often are these conversations supposed to be had for y'all as females? Do you expect to have a conversation every week, every couple of days, every couple of
They're
weeks?
saying, somebody said something in the comments.
She said earlier than 6 months, yes.
Right.
So, but what's
Earlier
the
than 6 months.
okay? So you
For the
meet,
initial
you talk about
conversation.
it to 6 months or earlier than 6 months.
So initial conversation earlier than 6 months, and I'm guessing after that, like maybe another 6 months. Chat, please.
Yeah, please let us know.
How do you want me having this conversation? But let me run through the comments while we're doing that. So,
Can I get some ice? You, bro, I want you.
Tika says you can't plan, you cannot plan who is going to make you open up. It just has to happen. It just happens the more comfortable you get. Which
I agree with
that.
Yes, I think so too. You
Sammy
fall in love,
says-
like they said.
Somebody says Jimmy has street experience. Jesus.
God is watching, my brother.
Edit says
God is watching you.
being open in today's society is seen as a weakness, and that's fact.
As a man?
As a man.
Yes.
Probably as a man, yeah,
Yes.
but she didn't really specify. She says it shouldn't be like this. That's why we have so many toxic relationships and situations.
Yes.
People don't want to be open.
And the culture that we're from, especially us Nigerians and Africans.
Sure.
And to be honest though too, if I really do love this woman and come back to 3 to 6 months later, she's like, oh, I'm only using it for sex. It's gonna make me look at myself like, damn, like, what's wrong with me? Like, because I mean, the sex sounds good. Okay, I'm only good for sex, but there's more to me than just sex, right? So am I not valuable? What did she not value about me?
Flip the script.
Yeah.
How women feel every day when guys do this.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, that's what made me think about it.
You
like,
meet a
yeah.
girl and then you just use her for sex?
Yeah. I mean, because according to the chat, this is what guys do every day to women.
So she
Yeah.
tells you, hey, I wanna, oh, okay, it's 6 months, we've been knocking, what's up, what are we? And then you tell her what, it's just for knocks.
We are nothing but pencils.
Guys, this joke, that was not well, this thing,
Okay, we're gonna roll with it on to the next topic. Oh, you got something?
So that goes back to the very, it's important to understand what we're doing from the jump.
Right. That's right.
But I think what they're saying in chat is like after the jump,
Okay.
after we've set
They
it
say
around,
check in every.
there's supposed to be another check-in when the
Not
feelings
another,
start.
Continuous challenge.
That makes sense.
Attendance.
So how do you even do this continuous
Yeah, like, it's not making it seem so like,
That's why I said if the feeling
I
is
wish I
genuine,
listened,
those conversations will be easy to have.
So we're at dinner.
Then we
Oh,
don't
baby, I was
check
thinking
in.
about you a couple
No,
times.
it's not even
today.
dinner. It's, you
It
could be
made me
watching a
feel-
TV show
yeah.
and be like, oh,
Like-
that could be us one day.
But if you already know
you
the
should
job,
give me signs or you give us signs.
Hello. Are you having dinner with someone you're just knocking?
yes,
That's the problem. That's actually the problem.
yes, there's levels to the night. So we're not gonna
You gotta eat that.
No.
before or after. I mean, like
You gotta drink
gotta
something.
eat, gotta
Go to
drink.
cook
You
something.
order food.
You gotta replenish the energy.
Okay. And this is why there's more situationships than
Yes.
sensitivity because
It's
guys,
the same thing
in a
now.
woman's mind.
Okay.
I don't care how much you tell her in the beginning, but just fucking know. When you start doing all this cooking, wash your pants, all
said
these
cooking?
things. No, we're not trying to talk. I want
said-
to
you
do
said
nothing
food.
to
You want to take her out to the movies.
According to go to the movies to knock. The goal is to
Nah.
You're going out to knock.
Now, according to the Gospel of Conan, he said, biscuit, Toblerone, quick dick, drove her home. According to the Gospel of Future, he said,
Future.
I just spent 60,000 on my rollie, but I bought her dinner from Chipotle. Do you understand? That is, I will take her to dinner, but we are knocking on. It's unnecessary. I have Netflix at home. It's unnecessary. Do you understand?
No, there's no pots.
There's no parts.
I feel like there's pots.
You cannot be doing put up behavior for somebody.
Now,
Just
everybody wants to
it's
chop.
impossible.
So one day, if I watch your mama uncle, and the guy says she wants your mama too.
No.
Uber is there.
Everything can come out.
Let's be real. We're gonna move on, but let's be real. You already know when you do these things, that leads somebody to change. That's automatic.
Yes. Even for yourself, like.
Thank you, and then that's where the checking in should start happening. Because you're doing put up things for somebody you should just knock
How
you
about
out.
just keep it knocking? Like, hello, are you there? Okay, enter out, papa, bye.
But then you see, you start feeling bad.
No.
That's what you're signing up for.
It's the game. You can't be feeling
So now you
bad.
catch your feelings.
Sometimes in the game,
No.
you feel like, bad for yourself.
When you
So
say
now
that,
you feel feelings. Bad for yourself. That, okay. I can make a even make you chop.
No.
That's why you should be checking in. You should be checking in. If you are doing all those things and it's hitting your mind, check in. Check in.
Next.
Right wing Colossians.
We're gonna hop over to the next topic. And that was in the mix of all the laughter and stuff. I hope we're getting the message.
Yeah.
You guys are seeing. I mean,
Yeah, for sure.
We're the biggest hypocrites in the world.
I know you.
like,
You see, as 2021 man, we're broken up into different categories, and we know it ourselves. So we know that most of the stuff that we don't like from women, we already do. It's just our.
okay. I just want to make sure we're.
I think I just human beings.
We know now. It's just the person. Like I said, let's see when we move on.
Alright, let's hop on to this one. Let's not spend more than 10-ish minutes on this. And if we do, then it is what it is. Because this is kind of, a very nice situation. If you get sent to prison for an extended period of time, we're not going to put a number on it. Are you expecting your partner, spouse, whichever, whatever your situation is, are you expecting them to wait for you, or do you want her to move on with her life?
I expect her to wait for me.
What is it depends on the long period.
Let's just say 7 years.
I expect her to
So-
wait for me.
7 years minimum.
Yeah.
I can have all the
Do you want her
expectations
to
in
wait
the
for you?
world, but to be
I
realistic,
can't. If she doesn't stay,
because if my girlfriend is in jail for 7 years,
You wait for her?
I'm not waiting. It's true now. Like,
and I will take it.
it's true. I mean, you won't be in a committed anything.
There's not.
Wife? Okay, that's different. Yeah, that's different. You know,
Wife.
we have kids and all
So
that.
No,
For 7
no
years?
kids, wife. No kids,
For
wife.
7 years?
No kids, wife.
Honestly,
I won't be.
No kids, wife.
Honestly,
But dude, this is your wife. Y'all
for 7 years.
Y'all
I
took.
don't want to know, but when I come back and you're still supporting me,
I think it's what you said, grace.
Grace.
If I'm going to jail and you're supportive of me, then I'm like, I fucked up. Life happens, shit happens. Going to jail, going to reap my consequences.
Yeah.
And you're there for me and supporting me all the way. Chilling.
So are you expecting her to be there, or she just consciously?
If she's
choosing
there,
to?
if she's there, I mean that's the love that I'm expecting.
Yeah, facts.
Yeah.
But if she
She's not
chooses
there.
not to be,
Okay,
Hurt.
so
A part
This
of it will
is-
be hurt, but at the end of the day, life, you have to be realistic. You're stuck in the cell. She has needs, she has wants, she has obligations, she has stuff she needs to do in her life.
But she's your wife, right?
She's my wife. That does not stop her from being a human being. now. Doesn't stop.
okay, so
So Knox will go.
for me, just like you said, and let me just tie everything we're talking about today in just one point. First of all, you see her and then you see that she has grace. Then you guys will now start talking. So you don't wait till 6 months to start talking on time so that you know what her mindset is. And then when you know what her mindset is, then you now decide whether you want commitment or exclusivity. If you are doing commitment, don't expect her to wait for you, uncle. But if you are exclusive, then you can have that type of expectation.
Agree.
Finish.
that's facts. So if you have that expectation and she chooses not to, you go get exclusive.
Hurt. It hurt.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah, it hurt
I
that
shouldn't
bad.
have been doing anything stupid that wouldn't send me jail in the first
Yeah.
place. So
I think
Consequences.
because your question was, do you want her to wait for you? That was the question, right?
Are you
I think.
expecting her to wait for you?
I mean,
I
I would
have
assume
that
that everybody's answer is yes.
Yes.
Just being honest with themselves. Now,
I expect
do
it.
you expect it is a total different question. But I think as a human being, you want that.
Yeah,
You
you want
desire
the love.
for that.
The person
Because
that loves
that's what we desire in life is that level of love.
Wait, let me understand. Like,
Like
so
Gucci.
you expect her to wait
Yeah.
for you? What do you mean?
Real
Like,
shit.
So,
if she's your wife, right?
Yeah, of course, your wife, whatever it is.
You
so-
expect her to wait for you to come back and you guys,
As
and she will
well
not be in a different relationship
Right.
or anything.
Yeah,
right.
But can
Right.
she be doing other things on the
I
side?
mean, that's
If
that's,
I
And
don't
she
know-
can masturbate.
If I do not
no,
know,
7 years.
Be with
if I
other
don't
people.
know, bro, I'm being. If
Yeah,
you're being realistic and you're
exactly.
saying I'm in a hole for 7 years, and this woman has been there for me, supporting me throughout the 7-year term, and I get out, do you want to ask her who she's been fucking?
I don't know.
But this one assumes she probably
Is that even fair?
no, let's not assume. Let's not assume. But realistically, if you see the statistics of
If you're in there for 7 years and y'all don't talk about what's going on, then you can just know that she is. Because if she's holding it
7
down
years,
and
dog.
she's not out there doing nothing, that conversation is going to be had. Because what's going on is that woman knows that, okay, you fucked up, you're in jail, you're in a vulnerable point, in a vulnerable situation. She's out there, she
fuck
can
up.
do whatever. So
can do
at the
whatever.
end of the day, she's going to bring it up to you and be like, yo, I understand that you're going through a lot. I understand it's probably going to be a lot in your mind, but I want to let you know this. A, B, C, and D. This is how it is. If y'all not having that conversation, just know that she's doing whatever and she's just avoiding it.
Facts.
Because I feel
And I
like
think that goes back to
No,
what
for
he
real.
said from the beginning, which is if you set it up right, if you guys started off and you've gotten to a point where it's exclusivity, and this is your wife, man, this should be
you
stuff
should
that
have that
is.
expectation.
I think I'll
It's
ask
an
her.
expectation.
I think I'll straight up ask.
Oh, have you been? What have you been doing for
Yeah.
this last 7 years? I've been in jail.
Yeah, no, meaning during
I mean,
those
she's coming to
visits-
visit you, right?
During those
Like all
visits,
these
I'm
things.
If
It's
we're not,
gonna be a
if you don't,
conversation.
what if you don't have conjugal visits, bro?
Well, then that's different. But
See-
I would ask.
Basically,
Oh,
for
that's not.
And if she says yes, what are you going to do?
I can do nothing about it.
see, basically,
I think,
I
but
don't
you know,
know.
as men, the moment she says yes, you know it's done.
It depends.
Let's be
Maybe-
real.
maybe
No, for
not,
real.
But,
Yeah, bro.
But
You just got
having
out of
that
jail.
information
You just
is-
got
So,
out of
okay,
jail,
so
you
for
don't share
me, I feel like this is not for on behalf of women. I feel like this is not the right conversation to be having, to be assuming for them, because basically, if you check the statistics of incarceration, women do this all the time.
Yeah.
They are basically
This is not-
they have people that they are with that go in and out of jail. So this is something I don't feel like it's right for us to be questioning. Okay, even if they wait, what would they be doing?
No,
Like,
what's
bro,
the question is, what do you
But when we
want?
realize-
Not what you expect.
Forget about what she's doing and what's
Yeah,
happening.
it's like, what
As
do
a
you
guy,
want as a
what are
man?
you
What do
thinking
you
What are your
in your mind?
expectations?
What are your expectations?
Yeah.
Are you expecting her to wait? And if she's waiting, what's in your mind? Are you thinking is she with X, Y, Z, or is she being loyal to me regardless?
See, bro, I don't think a lot of people understand how. I don't think they understand the mental of what it takes to be in prison, bro. If you're in prison and you're in that environment, you know how toxic it is and everything. Like, you're constantly in fear of your life and everything. Trust me, the fact that she's come to visit you will be one of the anchors that's holding your mental state to be calm or to be positive.
Agree.
So I don't think if you're in that condition,
While you're in
questioning,
prison.
while you're in prison,
When
you're
you
questioning
get out-
her loyalty to you. It does not
So
make sense.
let's say you get out.
My guy, some guys
Get out
are-
tomorrow.
Some guys are different. During that visit, they go look you say.
Get out tomorrow, and then now it's been 7 years of blank past. She's been coming to see you at prison, but you don't know anything she's been
Doing
doing.
anything outside.
So you're gonna what? Not gonna ask her?
How would she come and see me and we don't have conversations that she don't
Yeah, that's
know?
what I'm saying.
What is the
The
conversation
conversation's
about
gonna
for
be-
your? I don't know how long. I don't know how long the prison visits are. But what can you really talk about? Oh, who you fucking at
This
night?
question is kind of hard to answer.
It's not hard to answer, bro.
There's no point.
If I go to
asking
prison I expect her to. I expect her to hold me down and still come around and everything. If I come out and I find out at one point in time she wasn't loyal to me or she cheated or whatever, it's done, it's in the past. That's again, we'll have the conversation to understand the context.
Yes.
Okay, with all the explanation she gave me, I was in prison, blah, 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 it was hard for her, blah, blah, the way it was hard for me and everything. If I'm willing to understand that context and forgive it, if it's too much for me, like she said, she was getting clapped all the time. That's a different situation.
They come and see you in jail, 7 years, you've been
I
there.
don't know watch this ABC show for life. It's based on a true life story. He got caught in his nightclub. Somebody set him up. He got sent to prison for life. His wife ended up having a relationship with his best friend, and they were together. And when she would come to visit him, when he found out he was leaving, they found out. Yeah. So what would you do in that situation? You can, like you said, you can't answer for them, but this was a true life story. It happened.
We're done.
Somebody
The best friend got married to her. He had a child, and this guy was the one raising the child, and she'll come to visit him in jail. He never wanted to do it again. Like, that was, what would you do?
Auntie Lynn, that's the female version of Uncle
I think that falls back into, again, learning what he said from the grace. You got yourself, you know the woman, everybody else like you know.
Done that to him, and he told her.
Hey, but that's life, though. That's why I'm saying, like, 7 years, dog. 7 years, dog. 7 years. You did inside Qatar. She's coming to see you for what, 30 minutes every time. But like, when she goes home, when she misses you, when she's home by herself, when she needs a man to support her life, when she's doing, bruh, you have to be realistic. If she's still holding it down, you mentioned Gucci Mane, yeah? One time he said she don't knock anybody, the other time he did it. Wait till I can't talk, but she held him down, that's why it made sense.
Well, I hear people, sorry to cut you short, I apologize. Well, I hear people always bringing up Gucci Mane's wife and everything and talk about, oh, she must have been sleeping around too. There's no way she was faithful. Well, I also don't hear people talk about papoose like that when it comes to Remy Ma. He also held her for 7 years.
Story, sorry, it's not that.
But I don't hear people questioning his
what did papoose do?
All people do is, oh, I'm so proud of him. He waited for her for 7 years. She was in jail for 7 years.
She was in
and
jail
he did
for a
not.
long time.
He kept the relationship going for 7 years.
But
So I don't hear people say, "Oh, Papu must have been sleeping
We're just saying
around."
it happens on both sides. That's what.
I'm not doubting that a woman will do the same thing that I'm saying that I would do. I'm not doubting it for 1 second. I'm actually not. But at the same time, I'm being realistic.
So as a man, if it was your woman in jail for that long, do you think you have the mental, spiritual capability
Stay for 7 years with no book.
to not hit no chick?
7 years with no cat.
There's no
No,
way.
seriously.
No round of applause.
7 years. There's no way.
See, people are capping. I don't have to cap.
So do you think? No, let me ask you this:
7 years.
Do you think you have the capacity to love a woman that much? That's a question. Let's reframe it.
I do.
You have the
not
capacity
found that
to
love yet.
Okay, but you
When I
can't-
find that love, we could talk on me again.
Okay, that's cool. So do y'all think y'all have the capacity to love a woman that much?
The woman that I have,
If that's what they call like true love, true love, quotes and quotes, yes.
Yeah.
We're staying there, we're chilling.
Yeah, I think I can.
Because when I'm thinking of my wife, I'm thinking of her safety.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's in my heart, it's bumping.
So I get
No. What if it's like somebody like I'm not sure, like I'm still comma somewhere.
Okay.
Let's be real,
So
bro.
that's
7
the real
years,
point.
you are knocking.
Yeah.
You are probably knocking a friend that's coming to meet you and ask you for this thing. You are knocking his sister, you're knocking, bro.
So for that situation that you brought up with the wife of the guy that was in jail, she probably felt like, yo, he wasn't deserving of that kind of loyalty because who knows what he
If
would,
you deserve it,
he had done before
there's
he went
loyal
to jail.
women out there that will ride for you forever.
Yeah.
I will not touch nobody. Yes, don't mess with women's loyalty. But at the same time,
Men's loyalty.
there's also men that will ride for you like that. It's just that.
So that's facts.
when
That's
it's
facts.
dwindling,
That's facts.
it's-
I'm gonna run this. Let me run to this. Let me run to the comments real quick. Jennifer says she's not gonna wait. John says if she's a wife, she better wait as far as under 5 years.
Would you wait?
Under 5 years.
Ask John, reply John, would you wait?
Bakita asked him in the comments, would you wait for her, John? I'm waiting for the response. So I ain't seen it.
What's your response, John?
5 years.
John says under 5 years with a chance of
Only if you have kids because the focus shifts from
John says under 5 years with a chance of parole. In 2 years, then he will wait.
I'm being realistic.
Boyki.
2021, with the life that we're living, this century we're in. Come on now.
Sammy says 7 years. He'll wait for his wife.
You better say that.
She's in the comments. She's in the comments. Okay. Let's see. What else? Oh shit. Confucius, she's waiting for my answer. I'll wait tonight. It's not small thing. I'll wait. What's there? Small stuff.
Yeah, I see Peter will wait.
I wait. What's there? Not. I'll wait tonight. What's there?
Well, you know you wait. You've already signed up. I don't know why.
Chica said something I wanted to jump on that. Chica says she's out, kids or not, she's leaving.
If what?
Unless you were wrongfully convicted.
This one is dying. You need to get vitamin D somewhere else.
So no matter what context, no matter if
She's out, kids or not.
No, she said,
no matter the year count, no matter if
Unless,
you're five, go to
think
jail.
about it. Unless if you're wrongfully convicted, then she'll stand by you. If
So
you weren't wrongfully convicted,
if I go to jail
you
for
committed a
anything,
crime, she's leaving.
Oh, you said we do.
I mean, no, that's good.
That's
I like
that's a red
that.
line that you have for your
But
life.
the problem is,
If you are talking and you know that's the kind of person she is, then you
I
should just
respect
expect
that.
it.
That's your red line. You as a man, you should don't know the kind of woman we go feed. If you know that's the kind of woman that if you do anything, she not go send.
Yeah, you should
You
just
should
expect it.
it. You won't be surprised that she will do that. Because why? That's the kind of woman you mess with.
You already have
Zach,
that
so are
condition.
these the kind of questions you should ask somebody when you first meet them?
Thank you, that's
Not
what
when
I'm
you
saying.
first.
No,
I mean, like,
well, why you guys are talking to get to know
Like
yourself?
after.
These are the kind of
Actually,
conversations people have.
that's a good question.
Because if it is, then I need
Let
that.
it simmer. Don't jump in there with, if I stay on you, what do you do?
I'm just saying, like,
All right, check this out. Last question. We need to round up. Well, we got 10 minutes.
Oh, Lord.
after 10 minutes.
Let's talk about this real quick. This is interesting. As a man, do you cry? Do you ever tap into your emotional side?
Wait, say it again?
Yeah.
As a man, do you cry? Do you ever cry? Do you
Hell
tap
yeah.
into your emotions?
Oh,
Hell
yeah.
yeah.
What is a crime?
No, cry. Do you cry?
Okay, let's start with you around. Because you have to cry. Like, he said, what are tears?
What is that?
I'm telling you, I cried 3 times this year. When my brother got married, when my cousin got married, and when my grandma passed. So, like, the different, I mean, it depends on the situation. It depends on how vulnerable you want to be. Sometimes you can't hold it and you just let it out. I literally was in my office, my door locked, and my boss was knocking on the door like, yo, John, what you doing? I opened up the door and I was like, yo, don't judge me, but I was just crying. I had to just be honest with her. Like, we have to learn to be vulnerable and let those things out because it actually heals you. It heals you in many different ways, and you wouldn't understand it until it actually happens. So I don't see nothing wrong with it.
And I think what I can take from that is like it's on certain occasions. There's got to be something that makes you as a man, because as men we're firing on all cylinders. You know, where pride is here, ego is here. You know, projecting a lot of masculinity most of the time. For a man to turn off all that, it takes a certain situation to break you down, where you just have to let it out. And most of the time, after you let it out, like most people cry, you feel better.
Yeah.
This year, I've lost my granddad, bawled out, felt better after, because I understand that he lived his good life. He lived 90 something. Come on now, what is the celebration? But for me, it's like we're not crying over no woman. We're not crying because somebody broke our hearts. We're not crying because they did not answer our text message. No, dude, see, come on, see.
I think she's got something to say.
She's around. Looks like what crying?
There's something that you said that I'm trying to understand. You said, you know, as a man, you cry in certain situations, right? Like, what do you mean, like, as a man?
Well, because, again, culturally, societally, we've been ingrained to understand that we're strong. We're supposed to be the epitome of strength. When a woman looks at us, she's supposed to feel comfortable because she sees strength. So it takes a lot for a man to turn off all that and say, oh, Mom, I'm going to be a child right now. And let just my raw emotions. Because men, there's certain times you see men cry. When you see, like, when you have a new kid, you see men bawling out. Why?
Yeah, a child will
Because it's
make
raw.
Yeah, your child will make you cry.
It's genuine,
And there's
coming
nothing
from
wrong
the
with
soul. When men cry, in my opinion, it's always stuff that's deep.
Yeah.
It's not no like. That's why like when you see a girl crying because you dumped her, you're looking at her like, you know, lady. Because for you, you will never see yourself in that situation. Even if it was the girl of your dreams, And she told you, man, I just want to eat for knacks. Are you gonna boil down crying?
Some people will cry.
Look,
For some reason,
I really agree with Jimmy because the only time I ever cried and it has to do with a female is literally because of my child. Like,
what other
but seeing her growing up
Right,
and
some
going
people
through this,
different. I won't lie.
like that's the only time
I have cried when a woman rejected me, but in my own space, not anybody look at me.
under the
Yeah.
covers,
Under
James Bond, when nobody can see you.
Yeah.
Why? Because why? You understand that you're supposed to be epitome of strength.
Yeah.
At that moment of time, you look like a
But
kid.
I let it out. I wasn't on some no. I can't cry. No, I will cry.
When you need
It's normal human
Reaction.
feelings.
I don't like it. We're not. I don't think like you should.
Like a child wants something so bad and you take it from them, they're gonna cry. It's just that as grown up people who wouldn't probably do right there, would just go in our own space and just let it out.
There is nothing absolutely wrong crying in front of your female.
like,
There
that was
is
the point I was
nothing
trying to make.
absolutely wrong
Well, let me
crying in
take
front of.
that.
Wait, let me finish my points. Because I'm going to take from your point, and I'm going to take from your
But,
point.
okay,
I'm going to take from.
before you
Wait. I'm going to take from your point. I'm going to take from your point. Listen, as a man, yes, there's this idea that you're not supposed to cry or you're not supposed to be vulnerable or whatever. Bro, that's cap, man.
Yeah, we know.
It's a natural. Your body will not release tears if it's not part of how it will feel better. It's because crying is not just for you. That's your body. You're in so much pain. That's your body wants to feel better and it's releasing those tears. So there's nothing wrong with crying. Do you understand? And there's absolutely nothing wrong with being vulnerable. If you can talk to your woman to the point where you're vulnerable enough to collect money from her, you should not be ashamed to cry.
No, that's facts. That's facts.
You understand?
That's facts. That's big.
Give it to the woman that has the grace that will not judge you for crying and think you're less of a man because you're crying. You understand? That should be an absolute moment. In fact, that should be a signal moment for her. Again, because as a man, you're not supposed to be crying. But when you shed tears in front of her, that's when she will even understand the impact of what is happening on you. So you understand? It can also be a sign to her. So there's absolutely nothing wrong with being that vulnerable in front of your girlfriend or wife.
It's just like, again, it goes back to, like you said, grace. That woman, that's where it comes to, like, our, as men, our idea of worth. Why say somebody's worth it? Grace. Man, when a woman is worth it, man, dude, you are not thinking of, can I cry in front of this woman, or can I ask her for money, or can I...
Wrapping points,
You
which
know.
I think about crying. Would you cry if you have your moments?
Man, I'm balling my ass out. I'm
Let it out. I mean, you know.
Let it out.
Yeah, we're all humans.
Because today she's crying too. She said she's not going to stand.
Chizzy, come on, we haven't heard from you.
I mean, like,
We know you need to cry.
I'll
We
cry
know you need to
anytime. What?
Nigerian kiss sweat.
Like that. Swear. No. Hey, we can go around because sometimes it just has to be real. And I think that's being genuine. When you're genuine with women, they can sense it. Like the same way they have this female intuition that they keep capping about.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I cry.
Yeah.
Cry, ball out.
Here's my thing.
But not in
If I'm
front
in a
of some
relationship, I'm
women.
crying.
Not in
If
front of
it's-
some women.
Now, that's what I'm about to touch
Not in
on
front
real
of
quick.
some women.
If I get rejected by a woman that I'm trying to talk to,
Don't
even
cry
if
in
I
front of
really
her.
like her, I'm not about to ball out. I can do that. Because no.
Oh, you're
And
done.
that doesn't mean that I'm not a man.
You're
That
done.
doesn't mean I'm not. Don't take away from nothing. I just don't want to cry in front of this.
Yeah, you don't want to share that moment with that person.
Not with that
'cause
person.
They don't.
It's
not
they don't
worth
want
it,
Yeah.
Not worth it.
They
But
won't,
somebody-
they won't appreciate
so-
it. They won't understand why is this grown man crying in front of me right now. That's what is going through their head. Rather than this guy is just trying to express something to me.
Yeah.
And that, so there's a lot of women in the chat saying, man should cry, but you need to understand that moment why a man will refuse to cry.
And women do not want a crybaby. So let's
No,
let's
they're
stop
saying
that.
that men should cry.
First of all, don't say
They said men should cry.
They
But
say that shit a
if
lot.
a woman does not expect a man to be.
But when
crying
a man
about
is really
everything,
vulnerable,
yeah,
some of
like,
them can't
nah.
handle it.
Yeah.
They can't. They don't see that on a normal
Yeah,
basis. They can't handle it.
comes out. Oh, why is this guy crying in front of
Like,
me? Oh my God,
what?
look at him. He's crying like a baby. Rather than thinking, oh man, this guy just lost somebody in his family, so he's not really thinking about how he looks. He's just expressing his emotions.
Right.
There's different women.
There's,
Nah, just and that women want us to be a little bit vulnerable. So if we cry small, no problem. But I just.
Yeah, women don't. I can't believe that a woman would want that. So.
I'm gonna run through the comments and we'll wrap up, right? Somebody says, Chica says, let yourself cry. Chica
She could be saying some shit.
Sammy says, you better cry. Sammy says, I will cry. John says, we know Peter cries, we happy, fuck you, bitch.
So
Caesar up cries in the Sammy said Caesar up cries in the shower, so he doesn't know the difference.
keep sweating. Keep sweating. That won't be
Chica says, Chica says we should not shame people for crying. There's nothing wrong with it. So she's basically saying this as a man narrative is holding you people in shackles. Let the emotions out.
I hate the whole.
Chica, I agree. There's nothing wrong with crying, but again, women don't cry.
You see that?
There has to be a balance.
Even men don't want cry babies either.
Let's answer that. That as a man, like, what? This is culture. This is culturally. We're ingrained to be men. We're not ingrained to be women.
No, and that's why I whenever we use it as a man, it's because of society. Society is saying
culture,
that's
society.
you can do certain things. So when we use that, it's not because we just want to make that reference as a man in today's society.
Gotcha.
Boom.
I mean, let's flip the roles too. As a man, I don't want a female to just cry.
Yeah, I don't.
You cry out.
I want to see your vulnerability, but at the same time,
You
Last comment and we're done. Stella says, this discussion just lets us know that we all need therapy.
Oh yeah.
Repressed emotion left and right.
I mean, I guess, but at the end of the day, like, this is the life we're living. So this is the emotions we got it wrong with.
Yeah.
Like, if you meet a random guy on the street, you think he's going to therapy to think about what is repressed emotions? Nah. You're finding different versions of these guys here in the streets, and they're talking to you. Fucked you around.
I belong to the sidewalks.
Good conversations. Thank you for coming up. Thank y'all for tuning in.
Yeah, appreciate y'all for tuning in.
We're just
Catch us next Sunday.
Don't forget to subscribe. If you're watching, go ahead and subscribe to the channel.
Yeah, the subscribe button
Click
is
the like
right
button
there.
too as well.
Subscribe button right there.
Where's the
check?
Where's the check?
Shout out to Dynasty Media Group. Shout out to O2 Fridays.
James, like, where's the check though? Like,
Put cash up.
Hey, subscribe to the channel.
Cash out.
Small
money.
Thanks for tuning in. We're gonna do this again next week. With a bunch
See y'all
of
next
people.
week. Tune in.
Yeah.
And always remember, hit us on social media with your topics.
Yeah.
If you're trying to be a part of
What is
this
it?
platform, just hit us up. What else? Subscribe.
Like this chat.
Last Sunday, so
Come on, sign up.
we always gonna be here.
Send to your friends.
Rain, snow,
Send to your friends.
thunderstorms, whatever, we're gonna be here. Holidays, we're gonna be here. Share with everybody. You know what I mean? Share with the shade room.
And 4th of July.
Yeah. 4th of July.
turn up. Hey,
Dynasty
Hey,
you know what it is.
my gang,
Thursday.